This meeting is being recorded.
All right, Chris, we're live.
Wow, yep. You're sipping your tea. I don't even know what is it, episode 14, 15?
I
I
think
don't even know.
15 maybe.
Who knows at this point, we're just cranking out episodes. But Ian, are you enjoying your tea?
Yeah, it's good. Why?
You a big tea fan?
I'm a big T fan.
Mm. Do you know what tea is like an analogy for?
Um, like gossip?
That's one of them. Not what I was thinking, but
What were you,
anyways, yeah,
what were you
no,
thinking? Like t
eh,
testosterone?
no. Getting a little closer, but no. But
Okay.
anyways, that's irrelevant. Maybe the viewers will know. Um, anyways, you know, episode 15. It's been a week or two. I don't even know when we filmed the last episode, but I've been pretty busy. I was in Portugal for the past week. Additionally, me and Ian have been grinding out Squatober, so maybe we can give it a little update about that.
Yes.
And then, yeah, I mean that's really it. And I go to London this weekend to visit my friend Oleg.
It's awesome.
And yeah, Ian, what do you have?
Updates. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just at school, living the dream. Notre Dame football's been doing well. Won our last two games. They were both home games. We beat Boise State and then NC State. So those were good games, fun to be at. Otherwise, just been doing homework, going to class, working jobs, doing stuff for clubs, having fun, enjoying myself.
What's the most fun thing you did in the past week, Ian?
The most fun I did in the past week. All right, I gotta think about it for a second. Um, I mean, it's hard not to during this month, it's hard not to say Squatober. Like honestly, every day that was just probably the best part of my day was getting in the gym and doing Squatober.
Mm,
But aside from Squatober, um, every Thursday night so actually I guess it's a two-parter because every Thursday night my dorm we do milkshake mass, which is always good. But then afterwards, um, me and some friends we got like a little crossword group and we did the New York Times crossword. So
oh, that's electric, Ian.
it is.
Yeah,
I know you don't think it is, but it is. It is.
so you just go to the mass just for the milkshake, right? Like,
I mean, like I enjoy the community. The milkshake's
no,
also
you
good.
just you just want the milkshake.
I
What
mean,
flavor milkshake?
it's
We all know you just want the milkshake. What flavor milkshake?
okay. Okay. It's like kind of like I don't even know what flavor it is, like cookies and cream type vibe maybe.
Is it good?
That's delicious.
Yeah. I could see you slurping that down.
Okay.
That's a vibe. I agree. Squatober is electric. I can't wait to get I've been repping my shirt. It's like a vibe to like rep my Squatober shirt during Squatober. It's a good vibe. Oh, home now. Oh, that's fire.
Come on, baby.
I'm wearing not my Squatober shirt, but that reminds me, I'm wearing my Spanish shirt. So I want to give a shout out to Pepe. It's his birthday today. Big shout out. Happy 22nd.
Should we should
Old
we
as
should we sing?
Oh yeah, of course we're gonna sing. Yeah. All right. Take a three.
Happy
Oh, happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
dear Pepe.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. And you're kind of like, yeah, you're kind of like extending some of those notes. I don't really know why. You're kind of messing up the harmony.
I don't know why you're going so slow. I thought you were lagging.
You were going so slow.
You were like,
You were you go slow at the
dude.
beginning, and you speed up. You were going really slow. I was like
I
waiting for
was
you, and then you just like
I was singing like the song, the regular song.
whatever.
Okay.
We don't want to fight on Pepe's birthday. Anyways, happy birthday to my guy. Um, yeah, hope you're I think his brother and his girlfriend are hanging out with him, so hope you're having a good time, Pepe. Hope you watched the episode. One of our biggest fans, one of our biggest one of our best guests so far. Shout out Pepe. Hope you have a good day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, we can start. Oh, do you have any other shout outs, Ian?
Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh damn, like you have like no one to shout out?
I
What's
mean, I guess
you don't have anyone that
I could come up with a shout out. Like, okay, if you're gonna put me on the spot like that, yeah, I could come up with some shout outs. Let's see. I'm gonna give a shout out to. I'll give a shout out to my parents. Why not? Hope they're watching, tuning in right now. Let's see. I'll give a shout out to. No, I'll give a shout out to Julian. I think he's doing pretty well.
hmm,
I think.
hmm.
So, a little shout out to him. Um, yeah, I think that does it. Yeah.
Yeah, valid. Um, yeah, I guess we can move back into our we can do our you want to do our football um what's it called? Our predictions again.
I guess so.
I mean, yes, do you not want to? Like it seems like you don't want to, Ian.
I guess we can do it.
Like, we don't have to. Like
No, we can do
you don't have to.
it.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. Like I'm not gonna force you to. Like if you really don't want to, you don't have to.
No, we can do
But I don't want to do it if you don't want to do it. Like
it.
I'm not gonna do this. Like you just want to do it too. Like it can't just be me. Like at this point, I don't really want to do it anymore unless you really want to do it. But yeah, obviously you don't really want to do it, so might as well just skip it.
No, I really want to do it.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah.
Can you? That doesn't sound very convincing. Whatever. Um. Well, my Eagles lost already, so not much to say. Um. What else? Cowboys at Panthers.
Cowboys.
Give me the Panthers.
Your funeral.
Uh. What do you say? Oh,
I
my
said,
funeral?
yeah, your funeral.
Nah, I'll be okay. They did beat up the Jets though, which was cool. Oh, what are the good games over there? Seahawks at Jaguars. Give me the Jags. They've been hot.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Okay, be different, whatever. Um, Bengals at Packers. Give me the Packers.
Give me Joe Flacco on the Bengals.
Wow, that's a Joe Flacco on the Bengals is kind of weird, but I wish him all the best. But we need hopefully Mike Parsons to start uh doing his thing, and then Lions at Chiefs. I mean, honestly, I could see the Chiefs winning. Like, I feel like they've been kind of buns lately, but I could see them rattling up the lines, maybe.
All right, I'm gonna take the Lions.
Uh, um, yeah, and then what college football games are there? Well,
They're all played
I don't
already.
know. Yeah, never mind. All right, I guess that's that. That's that.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Um, do you do you want to do like should we should we
I can, but
I was gonna say, do you want to talk like we talked a little bit about Squatober. Do you want to do like Squatober updates before our main segment or after?
We can do it before, and then we can move into. I can talk about a little bit my trip, and that like I can kind of segue into the rest of the episode.
Yeah. All right.
Um, but yeah, I'll talk a little bit about. Well, okay, we'll talk about Squatober updates. For me, I'm currently like 1 or 2 days behind. Being that I was away this week, and my second hotel didn't have a gym, so
Yeah.
honestly. But the first week, first couple days was a vibe. I keep feeling it by the end of the first week. This week my legs are a little bit better, but I'm doing the seesaw today.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty brutal. Ian, how was the seesaw for you?
It was awesome. It actually felt great. I think I sent it to you, Chris. So I don't know if we talked about this last time, but we like send videos of each other like squatting. Um, and so usually on our like top set. And so for me, the 95% of like my like quote unquote max right now was 240. And the first rep I did like felt really good, but then I realized it wasn't recording, so I did like another rep right after, which was a little
Mm,
tougher, but it still felt pretty good. So the seesaw went well for me.
oh, exciting. Any favorite exercises so far?
I'm perusing. I'm looking right now. I think um trying to decide what my favorite day has been so far. I think oh yeah. I think the first business Friday I really liked. So it was back
Oh, the
squats,
arm farm?
bench press, and then tricep pushdowns and bicep curls, and then body weight
I didn't like that day.
Bulgarians. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, I think that was one of my favorite days. You know what I started doing just because of Squatober, I started doing military press, like standing like barbell
Yeah,
press. Honestly, I like it. I like it. I've never really done that before. Usually I just do dumbbell,
yeah,
seated shoulder press, but the military press is a vibe.
yeah. I really like how you do it and you kind of just start doing different exercises because it makes it nice when you come out of Squatober and you start doing some of the stuff you didn't really do as much. It's like you come back fresh to it. It's nice.
Honestly, I agree. Like I'm doing stuff I wouldn't normally do. I don't usually do a full body split, but like it's just like a different. It's a mix up, and it's like a good like mix up. If that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I can talk a little about Portugal. So I left this last Sunday to go to Portugal. Landed in Porto, which is the second biggest city in
Mm.
Portugal. And honestly, I think it was one of my favorite cities in Europe so far.
Yeah.
Being that it's right like located on the coast. There's a river that goes from the ocean into the city, and essentially it's like the city's in between like two valleys around this river. Very hilly, but very, very, very pretty. And there's a lot of bridges connecting both sides of the river. Like the main tourist attraction there is just the bridges. They have so many bridges. Very, very pretty. Um, and yeah, I jumped off one of the bridges. That was cool. That was a vibe.
Yeah.
Because what happened was we were walking by on one of the first days, and on the bridges there was a bunch of these like guys or I guess kids. I don't know, like maybe our age, maybe a little bit younger. Um, Essentially they were collecting money and like hanging off the side. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then eventually when they got enough money, they would jump.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and apparently it's like a whole like tradition of like local Porto boys jumping off this bridge. Um, so me and my friends were like, we should go do that. So the next day, after like going to the beach and stuff, we walked all the way to the downtown, and we just jumped off the bridge into the water. It was a vibe.
Yeah. How high was the
Yeah, it was
bridge?
really cool. I don't know. It was like at least, let me look it up.
Looked pretty high.
It was at least like it was like probably around like 40 feet maybe.
That's high.
Yeah, it was pretty high. Maybe higher. I don't really know.
Was it scary?
At
Was it
least,
scary?
well, it was pretty scary, but like the plan was like once we like were got near, like really just got on, like once I climbed off to the side, the plan was just like to jump immediately because like the longer you stay there, like the scarier it looks. So it was like high really far. And like high key, me and the kid next to me, like high key, like collided. But that was like, yeah. But anyways, it was probably looking back at it, it was like actually really stupid and like something could have went really bad. Also, at the same time, there's like boats and jet skis like zipping past underneath this bridge. So you have to be like very careful you don't get like wet if you I don't know that you don't hit any. But it was fine. And then what else happened? Hmm. And then well, the whole point of the trip was to go is like well, some of it's cultural, but some of it's like academic. Was academic like centered, being
Yeah,
that we like went to a couple of universities uh in both Porto and Lisbon and in between. So we went to one or two universities in, or we went to a research center and a university in Porto, and then we went to a like in between Porto and Lisbon, we stopped at like a how do I call it? Like a kind of like a community, like essentially a bunch of companies like share like had buildings right next to each other and like share some resources. So we met people from that, and there was a bunch of like small startups and other like research focused companies, which is really cool. And then we went to Lisbon, which I didn't like as much. It was a little bit more dirty, definitely a bigger city. Um, but it was good vibes. I went to Sintra too, which is like a kind of like a mu municipality outside of Lisbon, which has a bunch of castles and stuff. It's really cool. So that was cool to walk around. And then we went to some other research institutions. And while we were there, like a big focus, that everyone was like a couple of like the PIs like had to leave early because they had to go on the news to like interview about the Nobel Prize that was being awarded. So they were really excited about that.
pretty cool.
So yeah, so we talked a lot about that, and it was just it was a good vibe. And then at the end of the trip, we like had to present and like talk about all our visits and stuff, which was good. So it was like a good mix of like academic stuff and also like getting to see Porto and Lisbon. Yeah, Portugal was definitely really cool, and it was warm compared to here. It's like
It's nice.
60 degrees here, and it was like 80 something, a low 80s in Portugal. So it was nice, nice switch of temperature.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's my trip summed up pretty much. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Chris. I'm sure the viewers appreciate a little look inside.
I'm sure they do. I'm just everyone wants to know.
Yeah. Um, before we continue, I have a little surprise. No, it's not really like a surprise, but
Oh,
it's
I'm excited.
you see my screen?
Let me see. Oh yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, so we talked about last time how we sometimes do some Business Friday pictures. And I have my two pictures from the two Business Fridays thus far. So the first one, Business Friday, four armed for battle. The four FORE is in parentheses outside of the
Mm,
armed. So it's like the phrase armed for battle, but like forearm. So that's the
I get
first
it.
one. Yeah. I thought it's a little bit cerebral. It's a little bit tricky to work through, but I thought it was a good one.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Uh and this is number two. This is actually from 2 days ago. This is Business Friday work break. Not my best work, but sometimes you just have to do your best with what you've got. Yeah.
I like it, Ian.
And
I
then
like it.
Chris has one too, right?
I didn't do one last Friday.
But you did one. You did
Being
one the
that
first
I
time.
was traveling. Yeah, I did. It's kind of a lot.
I thought it was pretty good. Uh, Loki gonna have. That's a funny thing. That's funny too.
Scared what you're to find.
I can't. Yeah, I can't get all the way. I gotta go.
Oh.
Oh, we'll find it. We'll find it. Apologies for the
Ian, you're gonna get us demonetized from Laura.
lot of stuff from Julian. Some of it concerning. Some of it good. Dude, this is it right here.
Oh yeah.
Rolling in the darkness. It's good, right? Like you look so tough.
Mm. Yeah, that was innovative, yeah.
Who took that picture?
I put my phone up on the pole.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, no one else was there. It was kind of weird. Some like sketchy like guys started walking past me when I was doing that. Like I was kind of scared. But yeah, it was a vibe.
All right.
That's a good example of spot to overeating.
Yeah. I think that's also a near perfect transition into our main topic for the day.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them or do you want me to?
You go for it.
All right. So, a lot of times on this podcast, we engage in some silly discussion, talk about some bizarre out there topics. We have fun with our guests, but occasionally from time to time we put on our reading glasses, we hunker down and we like to talk about some serious real world stuff. So, kind of getting back to our roots, taking a look at stuff that matters, maybe having a little science discussion. We wanted today to kind of break down a few of the Nobel Prize winners for you, talk about a little bit of the research they did that got them their Nobel Prizes, maybe some of the important applications for the future, why it's significant. Nothing too in depth, too comprehensive, but just want to maybe give you a little picture of what's going on in the Nobel Prize world, the world of cutting edge research and science.
Yeah. Um, yeah, for me, I don't know. It was like interesting. Like I didn't understand how big like I knew it was a big deal, but like for like when I was all in Portugal last week, literally all the researchers and professors and literally everyone just talked about the Nobel Prizes, and I didn't realize like how big of a deal it is. But yeah, it's exciting stuff to highlight, like, the importance of, not only just like learning new things, but the building the foundations for new avenues of research, and a lot of these are fundamental discoveries that can lead to a lot of improvements for society as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ian, do you want to go a little bit into the physics one?
Yeah. So the physics Nobel Prize, the Nobel Prize in Physics for the year 2025, was awarded to three scientists. And so the general kind of byline of why they won it was for the discovery of macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in an electric circuit. So for those of you with very little background in quantum mechanics, which I'm assuming is probably most people watching this show, right? Quantum mechanics is an extension of classical mechanics. So in physics, kind of the classical development of physics stems from Newton's laws of physics and what you would learn in like a high school physics class, or maybe even like an AP physics class, first, second semester physics in college. So if you learn about what happens when you throw a ball in the air, all the forces that work on it, how you propel it, you give it velocity, it accelerates, whatnot, all of that stuff, that's like what we call classic mechanics. That's classically how we understand the world, how we interact with it. But in the early 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, kind of this new idea of quantum mechanics was developed to explain some unexplainable phenomena on very small scales. And so we won't get into that too much because I think that would be a little bit too much for the podcast. Maybe one day. But essentially, this whole new idea of how particles and molecules on a small scale can interact with each other came about, and that's kind of the field that we now call quantum mechanics. So obviously, it's a very confusing field, very technical field, involves a lot of kind of in-depth knowledge, but in a basic sense, we typically think of kind of these weird quantum mechanical things happening on extremely small scales. So we think about electrons, which are really small, and we think about them exhibiting this quantum behavior. And so this research essentially showed that there are some quantum phenomena on macroscopic scale. So like a system that you could hold in the palm of your hand, like that's a large system relative to the general scale of things in our world. And these researchers demonstrated that there are quantum mechanical effects on this scale. And so the big quantum mechanical effect that they illustrated that can be seen on this scale is tunneling. So quantum mechanical tunneling is essentially it's exactly what it sounds like. If you think about like a barrier, a quantum mechanical object can tunnel through a barrier. So kind of a good example of that is an energy barrier. So if you've taken chemistry or physics or even biology, you've learned maybe about like activation energy and thermodynamics, right? And so generally, systems need a certain amount of energy to allow certain things to happen. So a reaction won't take place unless there's a given activation energy, unless it has enough activation energy to start the reaction. But on the quantum mechanical level, sometimes we see things happen even if they don't have enough classical energy to happen, if that makes sense. So you might have a particle or something that encounters an activation barrier, an activation energy barrier, and it just passes right through it. And it continues to kind of exist and do what it does, even if it shouldn't in the classical sense. Um, there are a lot of kind of like quantum tunneling microscopes that work this way. So electrons actually pass through a vacuum, they pass through empty space, they tunnel through it. And so these researchers showed this same quantum tunneling, but in a circuit. So they built an electrical circuit with two superconductors. So superconductors are just components, they conduct current without any electrical resistance. And they separated these two components with a layer of material that didn't conduct any current at all. So classically, right? If you're conducting current and you hit the barrier, you shouldn't be able to continue to conduct through it. It should kind of just bounce back off of the barrier. But they showed that the current could continue to conduct through this non-conducting barrier, and thus they showed kind of that on this macroscopic scale, you still get quantum tunneling effects. And so that's kind of the basic, maybe a little bit complicated, but explanation of what they did, what they were able to accomplish. Um, and the reason why this is important is because quantum technology is, it's a burgeoning, it's a developing field. And so findings like this provide opportunities to develop, quantum cryptography machines, quantum computers, quantum sensors, things that we use on the macroscopic scale to kind of take advantage of all the really unique and powerful quantum phenomena that can, really give us a lot more information and capabilities scientifically. So that's kind of like the basic rundown, I would say.
Wow, that was a lot of information, Ian.
Yeah,
Um, Definitely some of it went a little bit over my head, but yeah, I think that was a generally really good explanation of the physics part. I don't know as much about, I take a couple of physics classes, but I'm definitely not an expert like you. But definitely yeah, the tunneling stuff, cool stuff, Ian. Maybe you'll be the next physicist winning a Nobel Prize, Ian.
maybe. I mean, all I have to do is become a physicist first.
Yeah. Uh, well, we'll see.
Yeah,
Chemistry is somewhat applicable. I don't know.
yeah.
But anyways, I can talk a little bit about the medicine Nobel Prize that was awarded uh I believe it was last week. So the prize was awarded to a couple scientists, Mary Brunkow, Fred Ramsdell, and Shimon Sakaguchi. I don't even know how to pronounce. I don't know, some Japanese guy. Um, and essentially, their role, what they discovered was that they found these new regulatory T cells called TREGs that are actively uh, present in the body, and they prevent people from developing autoimmune disease. And essentially, they're part of the peripheral immune tolerance system. Essentially, you have like uh, your central what's it called? Like immune tolerance, which essentially is like your first line of defense, and then you have your second line of defense, which is the peripheral system. And essentially, they found new cells and a new gene that essentially can be used for certain therapy. So I can go a little bit into that. So in 1995, so way back, uh, Shimon Sakaguchi essentially identified a new subset of these T cells, the Treg cells, and they're a subset of the CD4 plus T cells. Essentially, what the experiment he ran was that from literature, we're seeing that when researchers remove the thymus, where it's like the T cell training ground from newborn mice, a lot of these mice, when you explain, they expected when you remove the thymus, you would have weaker immune system, weaker responses, but instead, uh, these mice exhibited like a severe fatal autoimmune diseases, and that was kind of like interesting. Like, why is it happening? And he hypothesized that, maybe the thymus was doing more than just like getting rid of bad cells. Maybe there was something actively repressing